Israel Robert Burale. Karibu sana.
Thank you very much for having me.
Asante.
Yes.
So you have two English names, huh? Israel and Robert.
And Emmanuel as well.
What?
Yes.
Israel Robert Emmanuel Burale.
Yes.
Nice.
On government documents.
Yes.
Go away, man.
Israel is my name, Chocha. But Robert Burale Emmanuel
is your
official name.
So your mommy called you Robert Emmanuel?
I was baptized Emmanuel.
Okay.
I was born Robert.
Yeah.
Burale being, of course, a man from Busia.
Yes.
So what would you like us to call you today?
What?
Rob, Bob, Burale.
Bob is my home name.
So what today we are calling you?
Burale.
Burale. Bougie Naya.
The name with swag, eh?
Yeah. I thought Ashitiva has swag. Today I'm taking the back seat.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, karibu sana.
Thank you.
So today we're talking about the man, and I know you're passionate about things that affect men. And we were talking before we came on air that men really struggle. Eh?
Yes.
Forgive me for using these statistics, but I have them because of what I do. So suicide rates among men is higher than women. More men are committing suicide than women.
Of course.
More men are drinking and getting involved in highly drinking binges and everything more than women.
Drugs,
substance abuse more than women. Men are getting involved in more violence than women. What is going on?
Men are dying slowly. Men don't talk. Men are struggling. Men have issues. Men are struggling with sexual issues.
Yeah.
Lack of performance, meeting the standards of the woman, and that puts a man under pressure. A man wants to have a Mercedes-Benz because 10 of his other friends have Mercedes-Benzes, so he'll take a loan to keep up with the Joneses, and yet in private he's struggling financially. When a man is married or dating a woman who earns more than him, a man feels inadequate. And if a man is not careful, it will manifest in a very bad way. One, violence, to make him feel like he's in control.
Yeah.
Or he might go and pay some 10,000 shillings to a prostitute and do his 30 seconds, but the prostitute for 10,000 shillings will tell you what you want to hear.
Exactly.
But deep down, you're struggling and you're feeling totally inadequate.
Okay, I hear you. Let's go back to the man as he was growing up. Where did what happened? Because this issue is affecting us.
Let's say from the boy child, I'm sure.
Yes, I mean, it's rather obvious, and I say this without fear of contradiction, is that the boy child has been totally ignored. Everything is the girl child. There are NGOs for the girl child. What about the boy? So what is happening? We are blaming men for not taking their seat properly, but we are not understanding they are emasculated. At the age of 7, for class 4, class 5, you're already pink on the inside. So when you get to high school...
Wait up. You're pink in the inside.
Yes.
What does that mean?
As a man, you're already feeble. Okay. You're fickle as a man.
Okay.
When you get to Form 1, you're already a weakling. When you get to university, you are a man in age, but a toddler in character.
Why?
Because we have been ignored. I mean, I want you to tell me right now if there are 10 NGOs, name 10 NGOs, or give me just 3 that take care of the boy child. None. Or they're very isolated. Yes.
Other than Mendelea wanaume.
And let me and the shocking thing is, do you realize the greater majority of people make fun of that gentleman who runs Mendelea wanaume?
So true.
Yes, and yet he has something. And no one is I've not had a company that says we'll give you 2 million to support your cause, because they say no, a man, you're not supposed to cry, you're not supposed to show emotions.
Show vulnerability.
Yeah, and that's why a man is watching TV one day and he collapses and dies, because he's pent up. I was talking to some men, and you understand. Sorry, I speak naked.
I'm very drop it. The way it should be. We already get the disclaimer. Go ahead.
For example, a man at the age of 40, his libido is going down. And at the age of 39, a woman's libido is skyrocketing. Yeah. So you're finding a man struggling to keep up with a woman, and the woman looks for Otieno next door at 25, well-muscled. And the woman is getting satisfaction from another man who is 28, and you at 40, your libido is going down. So men are struggling. And because they don't talk, they think they're the only ones going through this.
So you die alone.
Yes, and yet, believe you me, there is a way, even at 40, when your libido is going down, you can still up the game if only you talk and you get the information. And that's why on next week Saturday, we'll be telling men many things on how to...
hold that one. We'll keep that on the end. Let's first go back. So the African young man, is it a global problem or is it a Kenyan problem?
No, I think it's more of African problem.
It's an African problem.
And largely in Kenya, because we African men are supposed to be strong. You can't cry. In fact, if you're in church and you lift up your hand as a man and you worship God and they see tears, they say you're a sissy.
Yeah.
You understand? Yet the strength is on the inside. But we show strength on the outside. And yet on the inside there's nothing. If today we are to tell men, return all the cars you have taken on loan,
There'll be
keep
no
up with the
traffic.
Joneses.
There'll be no traffic.
The car parks will be empty.
Yeah.
You understand? But you're driving a Mercedes-Benz because your wife's friend, the husband, bought her a Mercedes-Benz. And women also put men under pressure. You cannot talk to your man about a Samsung S6
79,000.
that your ex-boyfriend had, and your husband is holding a Mulika Mwizi. You're killing him.
Very true.
You're killing him.
Okay.
And men are dying, and women need to help men as well.
Robert, I'm hearing two things from you. One, that women are part of the problem.
Oh, largely.
Okay, well.
I'm not giving an excuse for the men.
Yes.
We also have a part to play and take responsibility.
Yeah. So let me ask you, what did you hear growing up as a young man? And I'll ask Robert the same thing. Because I also have a son, and I need to know that I'm not repeating the same mistake. That's
Exactly
probably
what Kroba said. Wacha kulia. Mwanaume halii.
You grew up hearing that.
Yes.
I remember when
What
I
did you
was
grow
at
up hearing?
when my great grandfather died, we had a connection with him. So when he died, at the burial, nilikuwa nishaanza kulia. I was about 10 there. Nikamwambia, hey, Freddy, acha kulia. You know, and I remember hiyo time nikajicompose, by the way, na tukazika guka. It hit me when I was about 13, 14 there. I'm sitting on my bed. Then I started missing my grandfather, nikajipata ninalia.
Katoka tu.
So ikatoka. So my mom walks in, finds me crying, goes like, hey, Freddy.
And this happened like 4 years later.
Now 4 years later. That's when sasa nilianza kumwachilia.
Wow.
Thank God. What
That
if
particular
what if it
Had
happened
you
when he was
turned
married?
to the bottle or turned to something else, would have been worse. Because grief is something else.
So when you see sometimes a man in a bar, at the corner of a bar alone, having his 10
Sina
years,
tabu.
let me tell you,
Pale kwa sina
don't
tabu.
even judge him very
yeah.
quickly because there are issues. There's too much pressure on a man to financially provide, sexually be at the top, and not cry. And that's why men don't go tell women, their wives, I'm struggling, I need you to help me here. So a man would go out there and tell his friends, give me 100K because things are thick at home. And then maybe your wife has the financial capability to take care of that situation at that moment in time. But because a man must be strong, wacha kulia, from the age of 10, you think you have to fix everything. And in trying to fix everything, you're dying inside. And that's why one time you see a man, and it is so wrong, some men become violent, not because they were born violent, but they're releasing something that has been pent up for a long time. He released his by crying at the age of 14. Another man will go to drugs, will go to alcohol, will go to pay for prostitutes, or become just violent. You say hello to a man, he answers like, you are a terrorist.
Yeah. And I like the other day, I think I was telling Anthony Ndiema that we were discussing in class about the use of Viagra. And it is a drug of choice among the elite men. Okay? A study is being done about it. And if you see Viagra being caught in that number at the port, that should tell you there's a market for it. Right? If there's supply, there's always a demand. So if there's that demand, that should make you think, why is that demand there and who is it among? You know, those are the issues that we're talking about. And I wanted not to address the church. You are a minister of the word. What have you experienced in the church?
Well, also the church in whole is not taking care of the man. There are single ladies, women
the
over,
single ladies union,
women over
something for them.
Women over 30 who are not married, women who are what and what, but there is nobody really taking care of the man. And let me tell you, statistics have proven that when a woman goes to church, 65% will follow her. But when a man goes to church, 90% of the family will follow.
That's true.
You understand? So whether we like it or not, we cannot change the order of God. It is the man first and the woman second. But also because the men have left their seat, the women by default are forced to take that seat.
That's true.
And they're not graced. I don't like a man who depends on a woman. Because you can have a good wife, but after 2 years, the grace will be over. But now, what is the problem? From the young age, we are not taught how to be men. We are not, and that's why men think they're men when they sleep around. Men think they're men when they're watching football and having nyama choma. Men think they're men because when they talk about Manchester United for 10 hours, you feel like you're an intellectual giant. It's just an outlet, but it is revealing that inside there is a problem. And I can tell you without fear of contradiction, without batting an eyelid, is that most men, whether high in the corporate ladder, are extremely empty. And there's a percentage of women who do a very good job in making the men feel worse. You know, you tell your man, "Ata kazi wezi," in a fit of anger. You know, women have what they call a kung fu tang.
Yes.
It's like an AK-47. When you shoot, the bullets are out. And that leaves a lasting damage to the man.
Okay.
And when you don't appreciate your man, then he will go to pay a woman 100,000, have sex, and that woman will tell him everything he wants to hear. Because men have the biggest ego, yet the most fragile ego.
Let me ask you this, being a married woman myself and having a son, and whose work is it to, you see, by the time a woman is getting married, hypothetically, the man is 20-something, late 20s, early 30s.
Yes.
I'm already meeting a man, so to speak. So whose work is it to define him?
No, you think you're meeting a man. Most women think they're meeting a man because there's white hair, there's wrinkles under the eyes,
and he has a chest and
there's
everything.
a six-pack or a seven-pack or something. Even have 20, me have a one-pack. It's okay. So you look at that on the inside, but what and where women go wrong is that you look for the man driving the big car with a big television but without a vision. But I want a man who is on a bicycle but has a 5-year plan. I ask any woman, if you meet a man, ask him, do you have a plan? A 5-year vision. What is your short-term, mid-term, and long-term? But you want to see a plasma television and not a vision. You want to see a man already driving an SUV and not thinking of building a company that sells cars. And then when you get in there, you complain, and that's why you rave and rant and tell all your friends in the salon that, do you know a man who we can just have a convenient relationship?
Friends with benefits.
Yes, because my husband is not stepping up to the plate. So the society as a whole has let men down. The government is not taking care of the man. And that is why even, and I'm sorry, and I'll say this again, and I'm bold like that, is that I once had a member of parliament saying, you know, we are doing very well. We have not had a terrorist attack for the last 3 weeks. Now, is that something to boast about?
No.
No.
Gosh. We shouldn't have one ever.
Exactly. Now, for me, that is a problem, but I will not accuse him for being careless, but you look back. What is the genesis of such kind of thing? And men feel when you shout and you thump your chest, then you're the guy. Tell a man to give you his 5-year vision. If a man cannot, take your legs, put them on your shoulders, and run. It's as simple as that.
Thank you. Okay, Robert, I like that.